Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur. How are you doing today? So happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. I believe today a bunch of things are going to happen. A lot of things I've been waiting for. I think everything should be happening today. Okay, so I'm recording this Wednesday night. Yes. And so we, last minute kind of thing, we booked a night in Prescott, Arizona. So today's Friday for you guys. So we should be coming back this evening. So Thursday night, that's all we did. Just one night. Something came up in Prescott that gave me the idea to go. And so we had some free time, and I had this impulse of like, I just felt like driving there from our house. It's like 58 miles, which is like nothing. I mean, Phoenix is that far, but you have to drive through the mountains, so it takes a little bit longer, and it just felt appealing. So let me know if you've been to Prescott. I've been there a few times in the past, of course, and it's a beautiful kind of small town, but kind of a small city. It's a lot bigger than where we live now. Anyhow, so I booked a room near the town center where Whiskey Row is. And I'm hoping we're bringing our dog, of course. And the idea came, I know we're in the middle of what's going on still. And there's those moments when you just want to do something. And we've traveled a little bit since March. We've been a few places just carefully. Like, we're careful with everything. We wear a mask. I love being at least 6 feet away from people. So I'm cautious. I'm safe. You know what I mean? Like, we're safe, responsible people. So anyhow, I'm just justifying, but I just want to make sure that, I look back. We went to Mexico for a week in October, and I look back at that and I'm like, what were we thinking, really? But since I live in a bubble of my own doing, it feels good. And like right now, I would not travel to Mexico because all the numbers are just a lot higher. And, it's there. I just ultimately just would like to stay healthy because, when you get sick with anything, even if it's mild, it's not fun. So I'd like to just be safe and healthy all the time, right? Anyhow, I'm hoping that we can walk down the street in Prescott. It's beautiful. It's cold. And have a few drinks, be able to walk back where we live now. I don't know. A couple of the bar/restaurants got closed down the other night because they don't care. Literally, they just don't care. A lot of people here don't care. But I heard that like either Saturday or Sunday night they got closed down. And me, being a little snarky one, I just laughed because a lot of people here just don't care. I have not been out to do anything this year here in town. First of all, I can't get a ride. I don't use our local cab service here because I used to have a relationship with him. So anyhow, that's kind of a thing where I just don't go drinking here in town because I can't get a ride home. Maybe that's a little much to talk about, but so if you live in a small town, don't have a relationship with the cab owner because I just don't call him. We don't speak, and I'm not going to, I'm probably not going to get a ride. Half the time I didn't get a ride anyway. So it's one of those things where I can't drink here. It's just, and still, my dog is creating a bed on the floor. So he's doing that scratch thing on the floor if you hear it. Anyway, it would be nice to safely, hopefully, get a couple drinks and then walk back to our hotel. Anyhow, that was plenty. Let me know if you've been to Prescott. It's a beautiful place. A long time ago, I thought about living there for like half the season, like, or half the year, like a snowbird. Like years ago, I thought of it because it's so pretty. It's a nice place. I would probably much rather live there than where I am now, but it is a bit further than from Phoenix. Prescott's up in the woods more, and where I live, it's still the desert. So, anyhow, happy Friday. Let's get to today, January 15th. I did get a calendar, by the way. I went to curbside. I do my curbside shopping every week. And wow, that's such a great way to shop. I am just in love. I've been doing it since Thanksgiving, just because I didn't want to deal with crowds. And I've been doing it religiously weekly. So what a great way to keep your kitchen stocked. Like usually it's just, I don't keep track of it. And we go to the store when we're out of something. Now I'm just I use the Walmart app, and I just, go shopping on their app, and then I schedule a day and a time, and then I go down there, and then I come back, and there we go. And this time I had a bunch of office supplies to get, and I added those to the order, and everything's good. Such a wonderful, stress-free way to shop. But I got a little calendar for my desk, so that's cool. Okay, so January 15th, if you don't know, this is from the book The Inspired Entrepreneur, and it's 366 days of inspiration. Grab your copy. It's on Amazon. It's a beautiful book. It's like 400 pages, so it's a hefty book. And flip to it. Use it like a fortune cookie, because I've done that so many times, and it's been perfect. It's been spot on. This book has helped me so many times either get out of a funk or as confirmation with something. It's been so cool. Before I published it, there was a couple of times I sat here at my desk just like hands, my face and my hands, just like, oh my God, I love this book so much. And that's the kind of book to write, right? To publish a book that you love. By the way, a couple of mornings ago, I woke up, and it was yesterday, and I opened up my Kindle app. This is before I got out of bed. And I pulled one of my old books. It's my depression book. It's the book that I wrote. I wrote it in 2009. And it was basically my 5 strategies that I overcame depression. I, for some reason, felt like reading it. It's called My Depression-Free Life. It is on Amazon. It's on Kindle. And I never talk about it. I was curious. I wanted to read it now because since I wrote it in 2009, I wanted to see how it relates now with what I know. And so far, not too bad. It's really not too bad. Now, like the whole psychology mindset of like things don't go away, you always have them. That's kind of mindset. It may sound kind of like that. So I'm not quite sure if what I want to do with this book. Like if I want to like revive it, just leave it there, or what, or write a new one. I probably should just write a new one. But I remember I put a lot of heart and soul in that book, and it was my first book that I wrote. And I mean, it's a pretty decent book for people with depression. And so I read probably 3/4 of it. It's a quick read. It's not very long. I didn't publish it in print. It's called My Depression-Free Life. It's not linked to the books that I have now. It's Heather Hope, MA. So it's a different link. But anyway, check it out. It's like $4.99 on Kindle. If you do experience depression, it does have decent stuff in there because it is what I followed at the time, which is a lot of inspiration as well. So it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Anyway, I think I just got a message from my husband. I sent him a link for Amazon of of a neon sign that says live on air. And I said, I might need this because he's home right now. Anyway, let's jump into today's message. And it is, you ask by the attention you give to it. You get what you focus on, whether you want it or not. We talk about this all the time, right? Whatever you put your attention on. Hold on, let me grab my drink. Okay, we talked about it just a few days ago, pretty in depth, of whatever you put your attention on. Think about your attention. Think about your sight, what you look at, what you read, what you listen to, what you watch on TV, what you consume on social media. Like, I'm getting nitty gritty here. What you listen to, what you see, what you think about, what you talk about. However you put your attention, however you do that, whatever you put your attention on is what you're asking for. You don't have to sit with a notebook. And this is what I thought before Abraham. This is totally what I thought. This is what I always called surface level law of attraction. Surface level law of attraction. Sit down, write down all the things that you want. You're asking. Ask every day. Ask what you want every day. I used to do that. This is right before Abraham. I used to do that. I thought you had to ask for what you wanted every day. That sort of mentality. A lot of people teach that. A lot of the biggest name law of attraction teachers teach that. The first person that came to my mind is Joe Vitale. Surface level law of attraction. That's what I call it. It's just like the 55 times 5 ritual. The I love what people like. I am such a skeptic. I am a massive skeptic of people, of strategies, of techniques, and I'm just like, it's just so much easier than this. Please teach the good stuff. Teach how the universe really is. That's how I am. Teach the fundamentals, because then you don't need the surface level stuff. You don't need the 55 times 5. And that's what that is writing down an affirmation of something that you want to manifest 55 times. Write it down 55 times for 5 days. That's what that is. What is that? It's all right. But how about you just get happy? How about you just pay attention to what you're paying attention to? How about you kind of work a little bit on your beliefs about the things that you want? That is going to benefit you a million times more than 55 times 5. Like, you know what I mean? That's the stuff. That's why I don't follow humans. That's why I don't follow, a person who teaches that a lot is, what's another person? I know I have her in my head. She's super well known and she's got books and I'm just sitting here. How about you just be happy and you know what I mean? Like, I don't do any of these fancy techniques to manifest. Yeah, I'm doing the 10 cool manifestations of my 2021. Like, I think that's cool. It's acting as if. It's really focusing on it daily as if it's already happened. Like, if you want something fancy, that's the fanciest I can get, because that is what works. So anyway, the reason why we're going to Prescott, I've been working on something lately in my mind, and I told my husband tonight, I said, I'm really working on the whole really living each day, living in the moment, having fun. So when I went down to pick up my groceries curbside, I was playing music. I started a video on real estate terms because I have to take my real estate exam soon. And I just wasn't feeling it. And I thought, you know what, let's play some music and really get happy. And I did that instead of like the quote unquote, thing I should be doing. I didn't feel like doing it. It was dull. It was not playful. It wasn't fun. So instead I'm like, I want to do something fun. So let's play some really good music. So I played music all the way down and all the way up. This is like a 40-mile one way. So I did that and I was in the best mood possible. I was just like singing and dancing and just so happy. And at one point there was a couple times people noticed me in traffic and I just was like I it was one of those moments that I didn't care. I was just so happy. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, "Wow. I don't remember the last time I looked this happy." And that's what I chose to do. I chose to listen to music and really just be in the moment. And it just changed everything for me today. And that's when I realized, yes, let's go to Prescott. Yes, let's just live in the moment. And because we don't know how much time we have here. You know what I mean? Like, because I've always been a saver. I've always been like saving for the future, making sure we have enough. It's kind of a feeling of restriction a little bit. And I'm trying to, lessen that a little bit and just have more fun in the now. Like, I'm not a frivolous, like, spender. I always buy what I need and make sure I always have what I need with whatever it is, whatever it is. So I have a lot. I do have a lot in my life. I just don't go out and buy, tons of stuff. I always have what I need, which is everything. So, whatever it is I need, I get it. But I really want to, I look at my husband and I'm like, I think, one day one of us isn't going to be here. I don't know who, of course. Like, it's going to be him. And I look at him the last few days, I look at him and I'm like, God, if something were to happen to him, am I really cherishing the moments I have with him now? And I would say, no, I'm not. I'm just not. Because I am not having as much fun as I could. Of course, 2020 has been a bit of a damper on a lot of things, having a social life, right? So I'm like, let's really live for each day. Because I know for a fact that if we just live for each day, that we will have more fun and the universe will give more. Because the universe is really, really good to me. Like, it's really good. And I know that I can get better if I just let go of the reins, let go of being a little too restrictive, or, I've been working on this for the last couple of years, the vibration of money, of, spending, feeling good, spending my money. Because I know there's going to be more. If I loosen it up and feel good about it, more will come in. Like, I know that. That's what Abraham tells us. So I've always been that person that's like, no, let's hold on to every penny I get. Let's hold on to it. Let's not spend too much of it. And I'm like, ease it out a little bit, Heather. So anyway, you ask by the attention you give to it. I hope I gotta check. There's a word wrong. You give to it. I wonder if the book got edited. I'll have to look at it. I'm just in my Google Doc, which wasn't really edited. The book was edited. Anyhow, you ask by the attention you give to it. You get what you focus on, whether you want it or not. So the feeling of abundance, the feeling of having fun, the feeling of, yes, let's have a road trip. I love driving. Today, when I drove with the music and everything, I'm like, this is what I love to do. I love to drive. And I drove fast a few times today, which is what I love. I love that. I love being in the moment. I love all that. And going up north, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be, all of that. My dog loves driving. He loves to, he doesn't drive, but you know what I mean. He loves being in the car. He's such a good passenger. But so you get what you focus on, whether you want it or not. So there you go, guys. Okay, so let me know in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, check me out on YouTube. Because on Monday, we're going to do a video podcast. So that will be, and I mentioned it yesterday, that's going to be on YouTube. So go over to that channel called The Inspired Entrepreneur. But in the comment section, let me know where you live. Because sometimes some people have told me and then I kind of forget who is where. Yeah. But let me know where you live. But on the way down today, when I was driving to the store, um, I there was a song that popped on, and this song, the first time I heard it, I was on the 101 heading north in California. So that's along the coast a bit. It dips in and out of the coast, and um, I was trying to remember. I was trying to pinpoint it. I think it's just north of or I was just leaving Santa Barbara area. Freaking gorgeous. It's so pretty there. God, I love California so much. But the song popped on. It was the first time it was right before I was on my way to Pismo. I didn't know it yet at that point. But, or it was north of Pismo. I can't remember exactly. But either way, um, it, I got in such a great mood. It's an uplifting, really good, like alternative rock type of song. And so anytime I hear that song, which is rare, I go right back to that moment because it was such a cool time. I was in rush hour traffic, so whatever. I think it must have been north of, it was just leaving Santa Barbara because it's really pretty. But I heard that song and it took me back to California, made me realize how much I love it there again. And you know, that yearning for something. So there's this yearning, right? You yearn to be somewhere else, right? And I have that feeling about California. And then I realize that I can still feel really happy where I am. And that's the key. Because if you're yearning for something else, you're just saying what I have is not good enough and I can't be happy here. Because you have to strive for unconditional happiness. So I've been learning this lesson for some time now because I have always been the person who wants to be somewhere else. I always wanted to be somewhere else. Like I always wanted more, and where I wasn't good enough. Now I want more, but where I am is good enough. Like it's good. It's good where I am. So like embracing where I am because it's good, but looking for more. So so I started contemplating, oh gosh, is this my sign that I should be focusing on California again? California is a bit of a mess. I don't really want to live there during this mess. They're on like lockdown right now. Arizona is pretty freaking free. Unfortunately, however you want to look at it. The number one in the world again for cases. This is the second time it's been like that since the beginning. Worst in the world. We're not talking about in the country. We're the world. So it is what it is. But California has more restrictions because Arizona is a Republican state. I know we turned blue, but we still have a Republican governor. California is a blue state, which did it not? It almost turned red, or it did turn red. I don't know. It's all confusing, but they still have a Democrat governor. So we lived in California at the very beginning of COVID and lockdown, and it gets very restrictive. And it's beautiful. It's freaking gorgeous. It costs a little bit more to live there than where we live now, or a bit more actually, where we live currently. But to not be able to do anything kind of restricted us of like, holy crap. We could just move back here and have more space and not pay anything. But anyway, which is what we did. But so what I know for sure is basically I don't want to live during COVID in California. The people I know in California don't really want to live in California right now because it's restrictive, which it is what it is, right? So I'm like, no, I like being able to move about. I'm pretty safe. I'm pretty good. I stay away from everybody. So, but the whole like thought of California brought me back to like, should I just be focusing on that? Should we just get in the car and move and all this stuff? And I'm like, okay, chill, Heather. Just let it play. Don't run rash into things, which I wouldn't, but it made me remember. But it brought me back to Just follow what feels good, Heather. Just follow what feels good. Don't jump too quickly into something. See how things play out. Like, at this point, right this moment, I really don't know. I really don't know what's going to play out, how things are going to play out. Because the universe knows more. Like, if my broader self knows more of what's ahead than I do. Anything could happen right now. Anything. And all I need to do is just get into a good feeling place, get into a good mood, enjoy my day, and follow what feels good. That's it. That's it. And it works. Don't get too far ahead. I'm doing my manifestation, my 10 manifestations of 2021, because that's a lot of fun. Feels good. It keeps me focused on the things that I really want to accomplish. And I'm, open enough to allow the universe to bring me to that in the most fun way. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how 2021 turns out. So anyway, be happy where you are. Be happy where you are to get where you want to be. Okay, so I'm going to go. I got to go. To be honest, I need to do one more episode and then we can start getting ready for our little tiny trip. So I'll be back tomorrow, and have an amazing rest of your Friday, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.